Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Mediocrity Sports Show. I am Co-Vice. I got Crushing back with me today.
What is going on, sir?
This will be our big update episode. Things that we have talk about. Things that we have been talking about over the last couple weeks. Some signings.
Yeah, today was a big day.
Yeah. A lot of news going on in the NFL, but we cannot forget there are congratulations in order.
Yes, there is.
The Swifts are getting married.
Hey, clap it up, man. Hey. Clap it up. Congrats, man.
Can't wait to hear about it all season.
Put a ring on it.
No, but
I don't think anybody didn't see this coming, but definitely congrats to them.
No Super Bowl for the Chiefs this year. Travis Kelce's still getting a ring.
Right. He got his ring for the year already.
And I hope that no offense to the Swifts, but I don't want to ever talk about them again.
Yeah. I kind of want to take them off the screen. So let's get them back.
So there's been some developments of some issues that we talked about. First of all, Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones was on, who'd you say, with us? Stephen A. Smith had some comments to say there about Micah Parsons. I'll let you dive into that a little bit since I didn't quite hear the interview, but what's going on with Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones right now?
Yeah, so Stephen A., he had Jerry Jones on his podcast, and they had a lengthy episode where he basically asked him everything that he could as far as that little documentary that he came out with on Netflix, American Team. Mm-hmm. Then he also had some questions towards the end about Micah and trying to get Jerry Jones' side of the whole contract dispute. So during the conversation, Jerry basically said that it was Micah that reached out to him and wanted to talk about a deal. He tried to say that he doesn't give his personal number out, and he did that with Micah. And after they agreed on a deal, and Micah, left the room, like a week later, Micah just hit him up and said, "All right, after we talked about all this, now don't talk to me anymore. Talk to my agent." So, Jerry said he basically felt some type of way about that and doesn't know why Micah now wants to include his agent. So that's what Jerry Jones' side was. But I think even after that exchange, I mean, Micah is like 25 years old. If he still wants his representative to speak for him and to look over everything and to, make sure that whatever they talked about was legit, Jerry Jones shouldn't have any issues with that.
Yeah. And if you've been the head of an organization as long as Jerry has, making pretty much all the calls for everything, and being and having that much power, I don't think you are in that position as long as you are without being like a little sketchy or like a little shady kind of. So I don't know. I mean,
and I think when you're used to doing it for so long, like he said that he did deals like that with the players, like with Michael Irving, and he named like maybe 5 players to where he'll have these like just owner and player, deals, and then, maybe now he's just used to doing that. But I mean, you can't, especially when a player is saying, "Hey, I want my agent to look over this." You can't just be like, "Oh, I'm not going to discuss this contract with you anymore because you want to have your agent look over it, or you want me to call your agent." So, he may be used to how things used to be back in the day, but now, and I'm pretty sure that's illegal to, try to force a player to only speak to you about his contract and not his agent. So, he may, get a little call from the NFLPA, who knows, but, we'll see. But he's walking a thin line right now.
And they're running out of time. I mean, they got, week 1's coming up, and
they got 7 days.
Yeah, they're gonna have practice coming up, and probably the next day or two, and you would think like the more time he misses, the less likely they are of actually like getting a deal done. So who knows what the
Right.
future of Micah Parsons could be.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, of course, we know Micah is in shape, but there's a huge difference between, practice shape and game shape. So, is he in shape? Yeah, but is he in shape to, go against the Eagles in a week? I doubt it. So, there's a good chance that he could sit out week one at least. But I guess we'll find out more the closer we get to next Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, just seems like everything this week has been all things we've talked about before. With last week or the week before, we were talking about Trey Hendrickson and how the Bengals were having a hard time getting a deal done with him. Then, of course, trade rumors were going. Teams were making calls about him. And then it was just yesterday, they said that they were reopening negotiations. And then within 24 hours, boom, name on paper, Trey Hendrickson locked up for another year.
Yeah. And it seemed like this deal, like you said, came out of nowhere. Because we kind of really wasn't even talking about Trey for the last couple of weeks. We just kind of dismissed that and put that in the background as far as, us thinking that a deal wasn't going to get done. But, it seemed like they just kind of put a Band-Aid over it for the season. They just gave him a $14 million extension so that, this season he'll make $30 million just for the season. And then they can, I guess, try again in the off season. But definitely just a patchwork type of deal.
Definitely short deal. Like let's just get them satisfied enough to get out there and help us win football games because our defense is kind of ass and we need one of the best defensive players in the league out there.
Right. And I mean, and with him out there, it's just probably just to make them sound relevant or the defense just sound like it could be serviceable or capable. But even with him on the field, they showed last year that the defense was still, had a lot of holes in it. So even with him signing this deal and playing, this season, I still don't have any, good things to say or any, hopes that defense will, hold up against anybody.
And actually that actually seems to be a very similar situation with Micah and the Cowboys. I mean, right. I'm a casual Dallas fan. Like outside of Micah Parsons, I don't really know what household names they have on that defense that can really carry the load with him not being there.
Right. And it could be why they're taking a long time to do these deals is because they know even if Micah signs or even if Trey sign, their defense still won't be, top half of the league. So, they probably taking their time because they know that money could go elsewhere where they can sign, 3 other players that could help them improve the defense. So, but again, with the Bengals, that situation when you already paid your quarterback, now you pay 2 wide receivers, there's not a lot of money to go around, so hey, they think they know I think some of that Higgins money, they could have put towards Trey and wrap that up, but they decided to do something else.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, obviously, you give Burrow his money, you give Jamar his money, and now you're paying Higgins like a wide receiver 1 too.
Right.
But I forget what his deal is, but you would think he probably could have got something similar elsewhere. Honestly, he probably likes for a wide receiver too. That is, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, so you're shoring up your offense. You are high powered, and getting this trade deal done will definitely help.
28.
Ooh.
28.75 plus they gave him a $30 million signing bonus. So you paying and I think what Chase is getting 40, I think.
Yeah.
So I mean that's 68, almost 69 million just in the wide receiver room.
And then with Burrow, like they're right around $100 million for
So you gotta think
players.
half their salary cap is in 3 players.
That's a win now. That's a win now model because you're not gonna.
And if they're not drafting well and developing, then it's no surprise of why their defense is what it is and why their offense is high power, because it seemed like that's where their focus is. They're not even thinking about defense, right? Except for, and they really wasn't thinking about Trey, but they're not really thinking about Trey like that either. But with the salary cap going up every year, maybe they're banking on them receiving a little bit more money in the offseason next year, and can work out a deal with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. At least they have them for this season.
Something else we've been talking about. We got into it a little bit when we did our 53-man roster predictions.
Mm-hmm.
We had Kenny Pickett on the 53-man roster, and I said,
sure did.
I said he will make the team, but probably for not very long.
And now look at him,
and
gone.
Cleveland Browns sending Kenny Pickett to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 5th-round pick. There it is.
Got him up out of there. Yeah, and I think it was a great trade for the Browns.
I was hoping to get a 7th, maybe even a 6th. I mean, and when I saw a 5th-round pick roll across my desk, I was like, "Whoa, that's a steal." I mean, we straight up traded Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Kenny Pickett. DTR got released by the Eagles, so that he had absolutely no value. We trade Kenny Pickett away and get a 5th in return. That's a pretty solid deal.
Yeah, you can't ask for anything better than that. And we, especially with the crowded QB room like the Browns have, now once that Pickett trade kind of went through, now all of the other QBs kind of fell in line. With Dylan being number 2 and Shador 3. Once they kind of worked Pickett out of the QB room, now everything kind of fell in line. So, and to get a 5th-round pick, like you said, that's good. So,
a 5th-round pick for a backup quarterback who hasn't even seen the field because he has a hamstring injury.
Right.
That's you're not going to get a better deal than that.
Yeah.
But like we've been saying, it's been pretty obvious for a couple of weeks now that he was the odd man out. There was no reason for him to be there except maybe help develop a rookie. But then you went ahead and drafted 2 rookies. So
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, definitely a good trade for the Browns. And we don't have to touch on it a lot, but how do you feel about Shador, being named 3rd QB and Dylan named number 2?
Well, going on the final preseason game there, and I know they worked with different teams. I know Dylan got like probably the 3s. Shador probably got the 4s. But Dylan Gabriel looked good on that 2-minute drive.
Yeah, he did.
To end the half. I mean, he made good reads. His throws were crisp. Then Shador got out there and holding on to the ball. He got sacked 5 times. Went 3 of 6 and eventually got pulled. They're like, well, he wasn't playing. Like, he was playing with literally the 4s. Well, then Tyler Huntley came in there and led him right down the field for a game-winning field goal. And he's a 5th-round rookie, and he looked like it out there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like you said, I know people say that he was facing a lot of like the 4 strings of players that wouldn't even make the team, but he still showed that he needs to work on staying in the pocket, stepping up in the pocket, making good decisions. He was kind of he was leaving the pocket a lot, even though the pocket was pretty good. It was holding up. He was kind of making a lot of those rookie mental mistakes. So I think it is good that he'll be the 3rd string. I wouldn't have liked this so much if Pickett was still there and he was 4th, and then possibly then you're playing with the practice squad, or you know got 4 QBs in your QB room on an active roster, which would be crazy. But
Yeah, there's
with him being third, you know, he can sit back, learn from Flacco, and you know,
sure.
kind of not rush into it. And, you know, maybe at the end of the season or next season, then he can try to, you know, prove himself.
Yeah, he almost looked like he was a first round draft pick out there, in the fact that he was afraid to make a mistake. Like he was afraid to move the ball downfield.
Right.
So he's trying to get a little fancy. I think he lost like 14 yards or 20 yards on a sack because he kept backpedaling. But I mean, that's a third string quarterback. That's gonna happen. And yeah, I think him and Gabriel both have talent, and I think next year, I'm sure Flacco won't be around. One of those two guys will be handed the team, and hopefully one of those guys pan out, because man, I am tired of drafting these quarterbacks.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, now there's 3. Flacco can do Flacco things for the first couple of weeks, and then hopefully, you know, mid-season at least Dylan can get a try. You can't go into next year's offseason and draft with 2 first-round picks and 2 rookies that you haven't seen in a regular season game. So
yeah,
hopefully they can at least see what they can do, and then they'll know what they can do in a draft.
Yeah, because I mean, offensively, we're not a great team. I mean, not having your second round running back not signed hurts a little bit, but so it would be nice to be able to upgrade the offense in next year's draft and not have to worry about one of those picks being another quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully, but at least they got Pickett out of there, so the room is a lot smaller. You still have Deshaun sitting in the
and I just saw today he could be cleared by October or November.
So,
and he says he still has it. So I don't.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure whatever that it is.
All right. So anyway, moving on to your guy Terry. Got a deal done finally.
Finally got a deal done. We something that I kind of spoke about it the other day, but something we were hoping for, something we still expected. He's a staple for the team, and you know we definitely needed him, you know, for this season. So definitely, it looked like both sides from the videos and things that the team is posting today. It seemed like he was happy with the deal. He signed a 3-year, $96 million contract extension, and then they gave him $30 million of that in a signing bonus. So I'm sure he's smiling today in this season because he'll be making $45 million. But you know, then that kind of makes the rest of the contract team friendly, because that now is $22 million a year instead of 32. So it kind of works out for both sides. Where if I know they don't want any long-term high contracts out there for when we have to talk to Jaden in a couple of years. So yeah, it worked out for both sides. Still haven't released any of the guaranteed money yet. I'm sure that'll come out soon, so we can really see, you know, what that deal is looking like. But it looked like it worked out for both sides.
Yeah, and you always, especially coming off the season you guys had right there, almost get into the Super Bowl. You have your young quarterback who seems to be ready to just full steam ahead, get everything going, and now he's got his number one guy back. So
yeah,
definitely the right move.
Yeah, if we didn't sign him, we wouldn't have stood a chance this coming season. So he'll have a good 2 weeks now to prepare for the season. I'm sure he's in shape, but now he can, get in that game shape and sync up with Jaden a little bit before the season start. But yeah, good to have Terry locked up for the next 4 years, and yeah, hopefully we can do something this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys are in a good spot to do something. I mean, just watch along the preseason. Seems like defense might be a little iffy at times, but
yeah,
you definitely got the offense going in the right direction now.
Yeah, and speaking about today being a big day, today was cut down day. Every team got down to their 53-man roster, and we're still a little light at the wide receiver position. Just following up from that, because we only have 5 right now, so it might be something that the team looks at as far as picking up another, young or another wide receiver that was cut from another team. Because we usually carry 6, but we have 5 right now, and with Noah, being, Glass and Terry working himself back in. We only have Jalen Lane, rookie, Luke McCaffrey, who hasn't shown anything, and then Debo. So that's a position that we may look to add to in the next couple of days. It wasn't too many surprise cuts that we had. I know a lot of the ladies' favorites, Sam Hartman. I've been talking about it ad nauseum for the last couple of weeks that I didn't think that there was going to be a spot for him on a 53. He looked terrible throughout the preseason. And, it looked like the team agreed because he was definitely waived today. Not even sure if he'll make the practice squad.
Yeah.
They may look to get another developing quarterback in that spot. But, Josh Johnson made the team over him. So that says a lot about his play during the summer. Let me see. There wasn't a lot of other surprises. The only other big surprise that I saw was we had a unrestricted free agent linebacker, Ale Cajo, out of UCLA, and he definitely played well this summer. But with undrafted free agents, it's like a tough hill to climb for them to make the team. But it was surprising that he did make the 53. He's been good on special teams, but also he was making some plays out on defense. So that's a nice big. I think he's like 6'2", 230, 240. So that's a big linebacker that we can develop.
Yeah, I think we actually ended up with, I want to say 4, maybe even 5 undrafted free agents make the team.
Oh, wow.
Gage Lavardane, I think that's how it's pronounced. He was like Dylan Gabriel's like number 1 target on that 2-minute drive. And like I think 3 or 4 defensive players. So there was a lot of young guys given a chance to make a name for themselves, and they showed up. So you never know.
Yeah. Some other notable names that was cut. Tight end Cole Turner. I thought he gave us some height. I had him on my 53, but he gave us some height and some speed in the tight end room, but he was cut. Cleveland Farrell, DN, was cut. And my other sneaky choice that I had on my 53 was Andre Jones, DN, but he was cut also. But yeah, no, not too many noticeable names though.
Just means we're one step closer to week 1 of the season.
Yeah, man. One step closer, 1 week away, 1 week from Thursday, to be exact, for Cowboys and Eagles. And I know next week we'll have our big episode where we do our game picks for week 1. I know it's going to be a huge episode for us because we're going to be doing that each week where we give our picks for every game and definitely keep our scores with that, see who does the best at the end of the season. But yeah, that's going to be a
I just got an idea. We're going to the segment's going to be called Who Knows Ball.
I like it.
Who knows
ball. Has a ring to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
it has a good ring to it, but definitely exciting episode for us next week.
Yeah, so we got a NFL preview episode coming out. Also, I believe Chris Gardner going to be on again for a Ryder Cup episode. I don't know how well the golf translates to everybody out there, but it's something I'm passionate about. I get fired up about it. Team USA versus Team Europe.
Yeah, let us know in the comments of what you want us to talk about, what's your favorite teams, what you want to hear about more, so we can dive into it. But yeah, definitely a lot in store coming up the closer we get to the NFL season.
Because it has been very heavy with Cleveland news and Washington news, which, I mean, with who we are, that's how it's going to be when there's not a lot going on. But yeah, once this regular season kicks off, we're going to be covering everything. Like quick game recaps, talk about the big plays, the winners, the losers, all that stuff. So
yeah. And also watch parties. As we watch the game, you can react with us. So yeah, a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, and you can watch that on YouTube. You'll be able to watch that on Twitch, on TikTok,
Instagram. We're going to be
Instagram. Yeah,
everywhere. Yeah.
You might get tired of seeing us pop up places, but hey, get used to
hopefully
it.
Not.
Yeah, we're going to be here. We're going to be putting out content, and yeah, please, if there's something like Mike said, like you want us to cover, let us know. If there's stuff like you would like us to improve on or change at work, whatever you guys want, we'll definitely take into consideration. We appreciate all the support we've gotten so far from everybody.
Yeah, definitely. Been rolling with the subs and almost 60 in 1 month, which is crazy. So definitely want to keep that train going. But yeah, definitely thank you for all the support and continue to like, comment, subscribe, share the post, tell a friend, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Peace.